We got a great show for you tonight, my friends. I got a new tie with a chart. I'll tell you what, we got a great one. Paul Rudd is going to be joining. Paul Rudd finally had the balls to come on this show after weeks of calling me a propagandist. Know this, our interview will be unedited. Rudd's going down. It's happening. I'm gonna give that dude an infection of the perineum. I should explain. We come out early, I do a little warm up with the audience, and for some unknown reason, and it really was not prompted, I was trying to discuss the relationship between asthma medication and a side effect of an infection of the perineum. Unfortunately, I have no one in the audience who was able to satisfy my curiosity on that. So, those of you at home who may be looking it up right now, wait till the commercial break. But first, a quick update on an administration that is once again carrying out its plans with competence and professionalism.
A reporter from The Atlantic says he was mistakenly added to a group chat with top members of the Trump administration as they were texting back and forth about highly sensitive war plans.
Jeffrey Goldberg says he was included in a group chat full of our nation's top security officials discussing what we can only assume to be top secret plans to bomb Houthi targets across Yemen on March 15th. Everything from the weapons America would be deploying to the timing and the attack sequences.
Oopsie poopsie. You know, back in my day, if you were a journalist who wanted leaked war documents, you had to work the sources, meet them in a dark garage, earn the trust, pound the pavement. Now, you just wait for the National Security Advisor to be distracted by White Lotus while he's setting up his Bomb Yemen group chat. Are those guys jerking each other off? By the way, I might be in this group chat. I don't know. I don't check my group chats. Perhaps my favorite text of the entire group chain was the one from our defense secretary saying, quote, "We are currently clean on OPSEC." For those of you who don't know, OPSEC means operational security. He said that in a group chat. A group chat with a journalist. The journalist said that he didn't think that the story was real until Yemen was bombed. Oh, did I bring you down? Let's move on. Because as you know, there are certain hypocrisies and absurdities that we find in our cultural moment that make for great fodder for humorous dialogue, a facial expression, a nod and a wink. Then there are other pronouncements by our elected officials, actions by our government, that are so baldly bullshit, even though you know it will have no effect. And that these powerful creatures have been genetically modified to resist shame, self-reflection of any kind. You just can't help yourself but to go old school Daily Show gotcha. I'm talking about the debate on free speech. Now, as we know, conservatives have been very concerned about the loss of free speech in our country for a very long time.
Bullies on the left aiming to silence conservatives.
Free speech is under siege in this country.
The leftists, they've become the thought police. They basically declare themselves God and judge us for our thoughts.
George Orwell was right. The thought police come next to punish thought crime. Be very, very scared.
I am. Perhaps not for the reasons you... Are the thought police with you right now, Janine? Are they in the bottle? But luckily, our national free speech nightmare recently came to an end when we entered the golden age of Donald Jehoshaphat for Trump.
We have saved free speech in America, and we've saved it strongly. Free speech in America is back.
Thank God we have a president now who believes in free speech.
Yes. Thank God. We have a president now who believes in free speech. Just go ahead, roll through 12.
I believe that CNN and MSDNC, what they do is illegal. I think CBS should lose its license, but I think ABC should lose its license also because of what they've done.
I watched What Happened Live. I think Bravo should also lose their license. What they did to Dorinda on Traitors, they should be sent to a Salvadorian hellhole. This is what I'm talking about. Generally, you've got to search the archives for contradictions on one's stated principles, dig through policy papers to uncover private actions that are undermined by someone's public stance. But this is so blatant. I can't wrap my head around it. It's not even the hypocrisy. It's that they so fetishize free speech, this thing that they do not in any way actually practice.
The freedom to speak our minds and express the truth that is our heart. Really, that's really a big chunk of our heart.
Any cardiologist will tell you, hearts come in chunks. Blood comes into the aorta to the right ventricle, passes through your speech chunk. But since coming into office, Trump and the Republicans have instituted policies that are a dagger right through many people's speech chunks.
The White House has barred the Associated Press from presidential events because the AP has refused to rename the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America in its style book.
And in a dramatic escalation against the American legal system, Trump this weekend directed his government to target law firms battling his actions.
Federal immigration officials arrested a Palestinian activist who helped lead last year's student encampment protest at Columbia.
I think we ought to get them all out of the country. They're troublemakers. They're agitators. They don't love our country.
My chunks! My precious chunks, my lovely lady chunks. My chunks, my chunks, my lovely lady chunks. You're making my perineum tingle. Here's the thing. These attacks on free speech, especially the one where they deported that activist, if there's one thing that I know about the powerful principals at our higher education institutions, they will not be bullied by a roll 212.
Columbia University is bowing to President Trump's demands, announcing it will change a number of policies.
Among them, placing the school's Middle Eastern, South Asian, and African Studies Department under academic receivership for at least 5 years.
Some students protested the war in Gaza. Suddenly, a whole academic department is on double secret probation with government oversight. And by the way, okay, Middle East part, African Studies? What the did they do? Sure, the African Studies professor's like, I teach intermediate Swahili. See, these guys don't give a about free speech. They care about their speech. It's so blatant hypocrisy. It's so old school Daily Show gotcha. You know what? I'm just going to put on the wig I used to wear during those years. Because the hypocrisy is just so... Here's Donald Trump on those who would criticize judges that he has appointed.
A lot of the judges that I had, if you look at them, they take tremendous abuse, and it's truly interference, in my opinion, and it should be illegal, and it probably is illegal in some form.
Yes, criticizing judges. It is interference. It should be illegal. Tremendous abuse. And 4 days later, not 4 days later, not a full French work week later.
President Donald Trump just took to Truth Social and deemed this judge, responding to this decision here, calling him a radical left lunatic of a judge, a troublemaker and agitator who was sadly appointed by Barack Hussein Obama. He says this judge should be impeached.
The hypocrisy. It burns. And are we really still doing the Barack Hussein Obama thing? Oh, free Harambe. Come on, people. See, what was the whole thing that they hated about the left on free speech?
No one is safe from the left's word police.
No one. What exactly would an actual government-run word police organization look like?
The Trump administration is actively trying to purge the federal government of so-called woke initiatives. Government agencies have flagged hundreds of words to limit or avoid. Words like DEI, BIPOC, anti-racism, Latinx, Native American, Black, women. Seemingly random words like expression, at risk, political, and even mental health and sex.
What's left? BIPOC and Latinx, I get that. You're not allowed to say sex. You can't say words like women or sex or hashtag me too. How can a lot of your cabinet members describe their weekends? You know, you can't protest in a way that offends the right. You can't teach things that the right doesn't want you to teach. You can't read things that they don't want you to read. You can't use words that they don't want you to use, but they love free speech. I guess fear not. At least we'll always have art.
President Trump demanding a painting of him be removed because he finds it unflattering.
He's demanding they take it down because he believes this picture is unflattering, which really makes you think, do you think other pictures of you are flattering? At least in the painting, they blended the foundation into your hairline. But painting is out. Oddly enough, there is still one area of free speech that the right defends non-hypocritically.
I think they've come a long way. Meta. Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg came to the White House, who I like much better now. You know, I have a warm spot in my heart for TikTok. Twitter, now they call it X. And it's great that Elon bought that. He's done us all a big favor.
He loves it. Meta, X, the tickety-tock. Why is it that they're so enamored with social media?
Studies by the Wall Street Journal, the Washington Post, and academic organizations have found that the site forced political content on users. That content was almost invariably pro-Trump, pro-Republican, and pro-Musk.
Huh. The one area of free speech that they want to protect completely is the area that supports them and isn't actually free. Social media is algorithmic, and it advances with key demographics, or to put that in the most hilarious way possible.
The president sat down with Outkick's Clay Travis on Air Force One to discuss the status of his second term.
President Trump, getting to talk to you here on Air Force One. I wanted to start with this. Why do you think young men are so overwhelmingly coming in your direction?
My work here is done. Perhaps I can answer that question. They are overwhelmingly coming in his direction because that is the direction they're facing. I don't know if you know how that works, but you really can't come in a direction you're not facing. Although, young men at that age, you could bank a shot. I could see one fly over the shoulder. Maybe a trick shot where they landed in a cup. You know where that would go viral? Social media. The one place the right will unequivocally protect free speech is the one place where the speech isn't actually free. Algorithms, it's speech incentivized for engagement and profit. It's manipulated. It just so happens that the same process that forces you to doom scroll somehow also draws you into Republican ideology. Social media is a machine designed to stimulate the reptilian parts of your brain that would otherwise beg you to go outside. It's like being impressed that casinos give out free food. It's not free. Social media isn't the town square open forum of ideas. It's got a plan.
In the summer of 2019, Facebook created a fake account for a 41-year-old mom. They called her Carol Smith. Carol started off by liking a few popular conservative Facebook pages, but quickly, Facebook began dragging her down a rabbit hole of misinformation. After only 2 days, Facebook recommended Carol follow a QAnon page. And a few days later, it suggested she follow another. By week 3, Carol's feed had become, quote, a constant flow of misleading and polarizing content.
Now, Carol Smith is a completely fictional character, and yet her children have stopped talking to her. Although she was apparently added to a Pentagon group chat and knows the details about when they're bombing. Guys, social media isn't the same as free speech. Social media is free speech in the way that Doritos are food. It's ultra-processed. It's designed in laboratories. It's the same mechanism that somehow convinced you that you should eat a 50-story skyscraper of potato-ish. And the most disappointing thing, where are my conspiracy theorists at now that it's on the right? For God's sakes, billionaires are designing machines to manipulate our speech, to control our behavior, and rewire our brains. They're removing our regular speech and doing a, I don't know, great replacement of it to solidify their hold on power. Are you awake yet? Come on, you were with me on the lab leak thing? Remember what happened? Come on. You've barely even touched your Epstein binders. Doesn't this bother you at all?
Elon Musk has taken a very courageous stand for the First Amendment. He's tough as a pine knot, and the man's got guts. He's got oranges the size of beach balls.
Please stop with this foghorn leghorn bullshit. He's got oranges the size of a beach ball. But let me guess. How do you feel about other billionaires owning and manipulating our media?
Mr. Soros is now the largest single shareholder in Odyssey radio stations. In America, you can't just go do this. Mr. Soros is a billionaire. Pass me the sick bucket. Sitting right.
Pass us all the mother sick bucket.